there, all my lovely Sailor Scouts, and welcome back to another exciting video of me playing Sailor Moon props. Okay, so today's video, I have decided to do this because, well, I haven't uploaded in some time, and I think it's time to put some more content on this channel. And better way of doing that is playing more Sailor Moon drops because I still have no internet. So yeah, I'm still making videos this way off my phone. So I hope you guys are in for another awesome, amazing, fun-filled video game session. I guess it's me playing Sailor Moon drops, and ooh, look at special event. That is nice. We should probably play that sometime soon. In my next video, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, pretty much let's do an updatey kind of thing what's going on. So I do have everything set up. I have my station set up right now. I'm just waiting for internet so I can actually start doing videos again. Right now I'm just doing videos off my phone with the little setup I have on my phone, which is very interesting. It's very interesting, but it's actually very stressful as well, because with the setup on my phone, it gets very stressful because I have to drag everything with my finger and do everything just very weirdly on my phone, the way I have to set it up to do certain videos, to edit and stuff. Basically, that's what I'm getting at. The editing is very stressful on my phone because I'm working with minimum space on my phone, and there's certain things I need to edit, and I don't have this thing, so I have to like re-download this, I have to delete this, and then you have to do it all over again. It's complex, say the least. But yeah, that's where we're at. Actually, the funny thing is, I looked on the computer that I was working on before I moved. For anybody who's just tuning in, I recently moved. I actually was touch and go for a while where I was going to live because of certain things with where I was living, and then I had to move because my grandmother passed away. And yeah, I ended up living in this new place, and it's nice and it's great, but there's things I never finished, or I didn't upload to YouTube before I moved. And so I have these videos now on my computer that I am waiting to actually upload to YouTube, and I can't wait. They're actually two videos. The first video is actually Subs vs. Dubs, Amnesia, which I finished Amnesia, and I actually liked that show. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I actually liked it as far as I can remember. The only problem I had with the show was the fact that the girl's name was Heroine, and I'm like, okay, I guess she's supposed to be just known as Heroine because we're supposed to stimulate ourselves in her place instead, because it's based off an Atoma game, and usually you are the main guy or gal in those games. So yes. And then my second video is a review on Diabolical Lovers, just the whole anime, which I wanted to make that into two parts, which is one is reviewing the anime, and then there's another part that I want to do separately from it, which is analyzing the characters, which I love analyzing characters in general. Because the character analysis I had for that went way too long. I was explaining way too much. I was getting way too much into their character structure and their details, and why they do this, and why she does that, and why he and they do this, and it just got too long. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a separate character analysis for each character, and that should be coming out soon as I can get to that point, and I'm hoping to get to that point really soon. So yeah, I am planning on doing, maybe like trying to get, after this I'm trying to put different content up here as well. So hopefully I'll have, besides Sailor Moon drop videos, hopefully I'll have an opinion piece I'm working on about the live action drama version of Death Note, because I've been meaning to do that. And then I was thinking about this yesterday night while I was doing some stuff with my sister, I was thinking about why not do another subs versus dubs, but it's probably be shorter than my other subs versus dub because it's going to be basically me talking what I thought of the dub version of More Blood, Diabolical Lovers More Blood. And so yeah, that shall be interesting, so keep your eyes out for those because those should be coming up soon besides Sailor Moon drop videos. But I like playing this game with everybody, and it's a really fun game. I've been enjoying it myself. So yeah, mostly when I do Sailor Moon drop videos, it's basically a casual video of me just sitting here talking, playing a video game with you guys. If this is your thing, stay tuned because we're gonna have lots more to talk about because today's topics are something else, because I've switched the stuff I want to talk about today with everybody over the stuff I was originally going to talk about, which will be in another Sailor Moon Drops video, because I kind of do want to talk about the other things too. But yeah, I'm just trying to go through the update stuff in my head that I was going to talk about. But yeah, so the thing, well, tongue-tied. The thing is this, so originally this video was basically me gonna be talking about, like, K-drama stuff and just dramas in general, like K-dramas, J-dramas, because I wanted to talk about goodbye Drama Fever, because Drama Fever is no longer here. It is gone. It has been gone since, it's been gone since last year, which is really sad. Because Drama Fever was the place where I got all of my K-drama and my J-drama, my drama feels. But now I'm watching new places. I'm getting my drama from other new places. But that's not what we're going to talk. Today we're going to talk about the Vic Mignogna Situation. Yay. My whole stance on this thing is, at this moment, I have been trying to stay very neutral. At this moment, I'm a bag of mixed vegetables. I am corn, carrots, peas, lima beans, you name it, I am that. I feel mixed feelings from both sides. Actually, I feel a lot of mixed feelings from one side because I feel like the Vic people, they confuse the hell out of me. Where the Stan Vic people, I feel like they've been the most civil in this whole case. But you guys can prove me wrong. I probably haven't found that bit of information, or that bit of information hasn't been brought forth yet. I just want to say at this moment, I want to take this time, if you easily get offended or you've had something like this happen to you, a sexual harassment or some kind of abuse, I want to tell you right now, shut off this video, and hopefully next time I will have something more happier discussion or another anime video or something you would rather like to watch instead of me talking about this case. And I hope you all are getting the love and support that you are from wherever you are at right now. And I do pray and hope one day that we do live in a world where sexual harassment is not a thing anymore, and that you can go outside and you can enjoy life and not worry about your co-workers, your friends, your teachers, whoever hurting you in that way. And my love and my prayers are with all of you right now. The second reason why I wanted to talk about this is basically my feelings about it. I am so kind of not sure how I should feel anymore. I am at that point where I'm like, I just want to add to the discussion and just try to broaden this discussion out even more, which I'm probably going to say like half of what everybody else has said. And that's just me. I just want to put my penny in the well and be like, okay, I said what I said, and just wipe my hands clean of the whole thing. This is basically me trying to wrap my head around everything going on and try to understand everything, because at this point I feel like the whole Vic Mignogna case is kind of dumb. And before I go into my crazy rant why I find this whole case kind of dumb and at points childish, I kind of want to give you somewhat backstory of the case itself and me. My name is Stephanie. I've happily been part of the anime community for 10 to 9 years now. My first actually introduction to anime was from a show called School Rumble. Still to this day, it's still on my top whatever best animes out there, because it was my first like actual anime when I found out what anime was. Before that, I did watch like a lot of the other shows that a lot of people do say was their gateway to anime. I did watch Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, Cowboy Bebop. I watched a lot of the old school classic shows because I did watch Toonami back when I had cable, which I don't anymore. Yeah, so I was introduced to this wonderful show called School Rumble one night while I was studying for some exam for school, and the rest is history because I just watched it while I was trying to do this. I think I was studying for English or something, and I was on YouTube watching videos, and then this show was suggested to me in my suggestion box, and I actually looked at it for a second. I'm like, is that a cartoon? And I know what a lot of people are gonna say to me. It's like, anime's not cartoons, and I know that argument and that debate, how a lot of people feel about that, but it's like, I didn't know it. I just saw it and I'm like, oh, it's a cartoon. I like the pretty artwork. Let's check out this pretty artwork cartoon. And I watched it and I loved the storyline and I fell in love with the characters, and everything is history now because I am a happy anime fanatic for 9 to 8 years now, and I'm ecstatic and I'm thrilled, and I found this community has been one of the best communities that I ever allowed myself to be associated with, and because anime fans seem to be the best people to me, and we seem to hold each other up and bring each other up when we're down and all that. But not gonna say there is that ugly side of the anime community where people are just awful to each other and they just want to bring everyone down and bring everyone's shows down and just icky. But yeah, that's me. That's just how I got started in anime. If anybody was curious how my whole anime experience started, it kind of from there I did start to get into finding out who the actors were. And when I was younger, I got so into Ouran High School Host Club. I fell in love with those actors as well as the characters because I became a huge fan of Vic Mignogna, a huge fan of Todd Havercorn, Caitlin Glass, Monica Rial, Travis Willingham, Lucy Christian, Greg Aarons. I loved every one of these guys, and now just seeing this situation and looking back to how I was introduced to the anime community and the actors, these people who I looked up to, is making me realize that they're all human beings and that they're gonna fall. That's just it. It's the whole idol standpoint. That even if you hold your idols up to this pedestal, the moment that they do something disappointment to you, they fall. They fall and they disappoint you even more because you hold them up to that pedestal. And that's how I felt at first. I'm like, oh, it's like, okay, childhood kind of like gone in a way. But going into more depth of the case, what I know about the case, and I know there's other people out there who have done better research than me, so I encourage you to go check this out for yourself, research yourself, make up your own mind for yourself, not just listen to some people on YouTube ranting and raving about their opinions. Please go make up your mind for yourself if you think this man is innocent or guilty. The story that I know has to do with the fact that it started with the news source Anime Network, and they made this whole article about Vic and about how he sexually harasses his fans at meetings, how he supposedly touches them in places that they don't want them to be touched, or hugs them and they feel uncomfortable. Just told this stuff to make this man look like the devil. Then the other side of the story that I know about is it has to go with this girl named Mars Girl who tweeted at Funimation after the Broly premiere and saying something along the lines of saying, I cannot stay quiet any longer. Vic Mignogna is doing all these awful things to his fans. Can you please, Funimation, do something about it? Now you see here, the thing I never got about this case, as well I was looking this up, is after she tweeted Funimation, it's like everyone jumped on the bandwagon and said, yeah, he did this to me, I'm like, okay. But if you dig back to 2008, I believe, people were saying things against Vic then. My whole thing is I don't get is Funimation. Why did you not look into this back then? Because if people like his co-workers at Funimation or people at cons who saw him doing these things to these young girls or to these young boys as well, and you said nothing, you are just as guilty as him. You allowed this disgusting person to carry on his act for so many years when he could have been put away, he could have got help. And that's the mind-boggling thing for me. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But it's like, instead of that, we all just brushed it off and laughed about it, and it's like, no, Vic would never do this. But now, it's this whole thing like he's this horrible monster. And I just don't get it. Can someone explain this to me? I don't get it. How can his behavior been okay back then, but now it's awful, and I just don't get it. Why is it like wrong now, but it was okay back? It's like, is it because we have more of a voice now? Do we have more of a reason to speak up? That is my clock. That is a very sick owl that you're hearing, but that's my clock. But that's the whole point I don't get. And yes, I get it. I trust me, I get it. I get, victims who experience sexual harassment, sexual abuse, they are scared. They don't want to come forward because they are scared. But at the same time, I don't get how the fact if someone, let's just put this in a situation. If a young girl was being hugged by Vic, and they saw him doing something like not right, like it just didn't look right to her, like feel right to her, nothing at all, and her friends are watching this, why wouldn't her friends pull her away and tell them to back off? Or why didn't nobody at like the convention staff do anything? Because I know a lot of people who would see these things, I believe they would report them to the convention staff. I'm just saying that's the part I don't get. I don't get that. The other thing I just don't get is how the fact this all started and Funimation was so quickly to drop him now. I don't know his history with Rooster Teeth. I know Rooster Teeth has dropped him too. I only know he did Ruby with Rooster Teeth. But my thing with Funimation, though, is, probably also with Rooster Teeth, I can't speak, Rooster Teeth, is, how can you drop him so fast when he's been, and I know I've seen the accusations as well, and I heard that he supposedly is, like, a drama queen being behind the screen and stuff, but also, I just don't get, how can your workplace put up with somebody like this for so many years and then decided to dump him? And see, I just can't fathom this. It's like Funimation says they had an investigation, but what investigation? Why do we feel like you didn't really do an investigation? Why do I feel like you just went to your PR people and say, what will happen if we dropped Vic? And they would say, not much. We will get a few slaps here and there, but we should be good. And then you went to your lawyers and you're like, how much are we risk of being sued? And they're like, nothing bad. We can handle it. And it's like, I feel like there was nothing really done. I just feel like they just, one day someone came from Funimation headquarters, the big boss guy, and told Vic he was fired, and nothing really was done. Okay. And when I was younger, I used to think Funimation was like family, and now I'm like, I think that's the whole thing why I am confused, because the child version of me and the adult me are at war, and I'm like, no, Funimation is a happy place. Funimation is for family, and it's like, family, this is how they treat family. They don't even give someone that's been with them so much of a, I will try to help you try to look into this. They just kick him out. And I think that's what we all just want. Me especially, I just want answers. And a lot of people saying, well, you shouldn't stick your nose into other people's business. It's like, but you guys are a public figure. You are on social media. Your actors are on social media going off on their fans because we just want answers, because you guys have made it so public. And when you make something so public, people are going to start questioning, oh, well, okay, this happened, that happened, so there's some pieces here that's missing. We'll just go to the source and find out why this doesn't add up. And when you are hostile to people, people are going to be hostile back. I am just saying, some of these actions that some of Funimation's voice actors have done to their fans is ridiculous and childish, because you should not be harassing your fans because they want answers. Even the ones who believe he's guilty want answers. We all want answers because you have made this so public already. And that's where I think the Stan Vic side is at. I think we're at the fact that we just want answers at this point. We want answers, and we want proof the fact that he is this monster that everyone is saying he is. Because at this point, the Kick Vic side is not doing a great enough to show their point of view of this. I've heard things, I have seen things that they have fabricated evidence trying to make him look guilty. They have photoshopped pictures. They have tried to do things with video. And it's just making their side look worse instead of better. Where I'm like, okay, so what's going on? It's like, why are you doing that? Do you dislike this man so much and want to ruin his career so much that he can't work anywhere? This man's 20-year career is actually down the drain. He wants to salvage whatever he has so he can continue to eat and to live in a place of warmth and comfort. And you can't even give him that. You can't even give him that. How dare you? How dare you? And to put it out there, yes, if Vic is found guilty and there's evidence brought forth about him being this monster, yes, I do agree. Put him in jail, get him help, do whatever. He needs to be off the streets. He needs to seek some kind of medical or therapy for whatever is going on in his messed up mind. Get him off the streets. But at this moment, I just see him as just a broken down man who has no future, no past, and doesn't know where his next move is going to be, because if he's found guilty, he's going to be guilty. But if he's found innocent, he's still going to be found guilty, because he's already guilty in so much of the public eye. That the fact he can't work anymore, his career is basically done. And I think this goes on beyond the fact of anime and the anime community, because now we're playing with someone's life and livelihood, which I find really sad that people can just think this is a game when it's not. The other thing I just don't get about this whole situation is, first of all, I just want to go say this. Like I said before about the pedestal and the idol thing, I used to love Monica Rial. I used to love her. I adored her. I wanted to be her friend. Yep. And not to take away from Monica's talent, I still think she's a very talented voice actor. But the things and the actions she has done recently, they showed me her true colors, and I'm like, I'm disappointed in you, Monica. I really am, because I thought you were better than this. And for me, for Monica, it's just heartbreaking, because I looked up to her. I really did. I thought she was an incredible person, but now I keep finding out more and more things about her, and I just don't know how to feel anymore. I don't know how to feel about her anymore. And this whole situation, it's just sad. It doesn't fathom my mind, and it breaks my heart that someone, well, a lot of people that I care about is going through this stuff. It's like, what the hell? I'm not going to go on about Chris Sabat or Sean Schemmel, because a lot of people have already talked about them. I still do like Chris Sabat. I'm also somewhat disappointed at him. I never cared for Sean Schemmel. I only know him as Goku. I've never cared to look up his career or anything. I don't have a fan or actor relationship with him at all. So, but the one person I do want to talk about this very briefly is another voice actress in this whole thing is Jamie Marchi. And the thing that bugs me about Jamie Marchi is the fact that she was the one on the whole kick Vic side right away. And the thing that bugs me about her is the fact that she said this very bad tweet about how she wants Vic's balls to take his penis out of your ear and all this stuff. And I don't get something right here. That is construed as harassment against Vic and against his fans. And I just don't get it. These voice actors harass their fans on social media, but nothing is done about it. But yet we are quickly to throw the guilty book at a man who we can't really find any evidence that he's guilty, and the court of law still says he's innocent. See, this is the thing. This is why I'm finding this whole thing messed up. It's like, how can you... and that's the thing, is like, these people say, oh, we have evidence of Vic being guilty. And it's like, okay, if you have this evidence, why don't you come forth and show us? It's like, and it's like, are you waiting until your day in court to show this incriminating evidence? Because everything we've saw so far is not damaging. At least I don't think so. But I just don't get this, because also there was another person who came forward, a guy who said Jamie Marchi sexually assaulted him. And I'm like, okay, why isn't actions being taken against her? Why isn't actions being taken against Jamie Marchi when she did something awful, as well as the stuff we're accusing Vic for? Shouldn't the same actions be taken for the same thing with different people? But is actions not being taken against Jamie Marchi for sexually assaulted this young man, who I hope is doing much better? I hope he is getting the therapy and the help and the love and the support he needs and deserves. Because this shouldn't happen to anybody. It shouldn't happen to a woman. It shouldn't happen to a man. I'm just saying. It shouldn't happen to nobody. I think everybody, man, woman, everybody should feel safe in their environment. And I think that's the thing people just don't get. I mean, so many people got upset at Katy Perry for kissing a young man when he didn't want to be kissed. But the messed up thing is I feel like we're living in I'm speaking way too fast. A society, I'm trying to collect my thoughts, slow down. We're living in a society today where I feel like there's a stigma with men. And men are bad, women are good. Women say, he did this to me, men go to jail. Men say, women did this to me, woman doesn't go to jail. There's a stigma where I feel like if you're sexually harassed as a woman, things will get done because you are a woman. But if a man is sexually harassed by a woman, nothing will get done. Because men usually will stay quiet about it because they are men, because they feel like, they feel like, this is my own arrogant opinion, men will feel like they are non-superior if they try to say, oh, Bella did things to me and I felt uncomfortable while she was doing them. Men will not say that, because if they told like their guy friends or a male figure that they look up to, this could be a father, uncle, coach, teacher, most of the times, especially if it's young men, they will be like, didn't you like it? I mean, she touched you. I mean, guys are supposed to like that thing, right? No. No means no, and consent means consent. I don't care who you are. Guys and girls have the same rights to give their consent and to say no to people touching their bodies. It goes with anybody. If you feel uncomfortable with somebody invading your personal space, you have every right to tell them to get away from you. And I don't get why people can't understand this simple fact. We're all human beings and we should all be treated the same way, but things are so different for men and women, and it's just mind-boggling that stuck with this type of stigma between men and women, and I'm just sick and tired of it. And when it comes down to it, I feel like this is the actual issue. How far is too far and how close is too close? How far can an artist go with their fan? Like, what level of relationship can an artist and a fan have now? Because I am starting to feel like Funimation, you need to set new rules and new boundaries for the fans and the actors. Because if people can get somebody like Vic Mignogna on this thing, everybody who's an artist in that line of work that Vic does should also be held accountable for every hug, for every kiss. They should all be held accountable for that as well if we're going to label what Vic did as sexual harassment. I think this is where lines get very blurry. They get very muddy and gray, in my opinion. And I think just to save a lot of heartache and a lot of pain, we should just... It's really sad to say this because this goes on the anime community itself. It goes on to more of a personal human relationship. Because I feel like somebody could even get a person on, like, shaking your hand, saying, oh, did you see what this person did by shaking his or her hand? Did you see the way they looked at them while shaking their hand? And the way I am looking at this is actually very heart-wrenching. It's just sad all around because voice actors and fans, they can't have any type of relationship now. Not as artist and fan, and even if they wanted to get more of a friendship, that can't happen now because of stuff like this. Because people are gonna be like, oh, you're so and so and you're like little girls, and it's like, okay, well, that's not exactly it. It's just that he or she are very nice. They have a personal connection with their fans. And that's the thing, is like, there are types of people, they just connect very well with other people. They are not trying to do anything creepy. And I think a lot of people miss that point when it comes to people in general. There are people who are just very much social butterflies and they connect very well with other people. And there are people who are out there who prefer to not connect that well with people, and they rather be alone and be secluded from the world and just are happy being by themselves. But there are people who are happier when they are connecting with other people. And once you take away that connection, then they feel very empty inside. And that's what I feel like's going on with an artist. An artist itself, I feel they are the happiest when they have a way to connect their art to other people, and they're making connections with other people, and they're finding out how their art is making other people feel. This is coming from a person who is an artist herself, and I feel the happiest when my art touches someone and I have people thanking me for my art, because I feel great, because I feel like I made a difference in that person's life. I made them feel something. I made them sit down and think about life itself or a certain aspect of what I put out there. And that's what I think an artist need. An artist needs these connections, and if you take away these connections, then the artist literally dies in some respect. And that's how I feel like this whole situation. I feel like there's no justice for the artist and the artist's creation. And that's pretty much my outlook on it. But also at the same time, and I probably could be repeating myself at this point, you have to separate the artist from their art. The art can make you feel so many wonderful things. Like, for example, since we're talking about Vic, um, we'll take one of his biggest shows out there that a lot of anime fans know, Full Metal Alchemist. I love this show. I have the original 2013 one, and I have Brotherhood, I have the manga, and I love Edward Elric. He voices Edward. For me personally, with a lot of this stuff going on, I think a lot of people have to separate him from that role, because Vic is Vic and Edward is Edward, and you can't confuse the two. You can't confuse the art with the man. Same thing with anything that Monica has done, with what Chris Sabat has done, what Sean Schimmel has done, what Jamie Marchi has done. I almost called her Jimmy. But that's pretty much what I'm getting at, is it's really messed up when you think about it, because the art and the artist can make you feel one thing, because the art can make you feel one way, but the artist can make you feel another way, if you kind of get what I'm trying to get at. But also, I find it unfair now for creators and their fans that this new set of rules need to be applied in this community, along with the fact that I feel like it's unfair that there's the stigma between men and women, and men is like, no, you can't do that to the little girly fans, but women, it's okay if you do that to your little fanboys. And that's what I find so messed up. There's so many things in this case that I think people are not looking at, like, as a fan point of view and as a creative point of view, if you kind of get what I'm trying to say at this point. That's what I'm finding messed up about this whole thing, along with the fact they are trying to pin things on Vic that you have to fabricate evidence for. But yet, on the other side, we have people like Jamie and Monica on Twitter every day and just digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. See, and that's another thing I don't get, is like, so we can pin things on this man, fabricate things on this man, but yet these women are on Twitter making up a bunch of crap, saying threatening things to their fans and to other people, namely Victor, and nothing is done to them. And I just don't get that. These are the things I do not get. But I think in the end, time will tell us who was right and who was wrong, because in time, I think we're going to find out the truth, like we are finding out at this moment. And I believe there are 3 sides to each story. There's his side, her side, and the truth. And in the end, the truth will come through, no matter how much or how many people want to push the truth back. It's going to come out, and it's going to bite those certain people on the butt. And it's going to make them like, oh, okay, I meant this. And it's like, no, you were lying the whole time. These are the facts. This is actually what happened. You were just trying to save your own butt during this certain period of time. But now we know the truth. And I think that's what's going to happen in this whole situation. In the end, we are going to know the truth of actually these allegations about this poor man and about how it all came into play, which we all are finding out right now. But anyways, if you guys want to keep supporting Vic, just keep on doing what you're doing. Support him the best you can with your words and your actions. Just keep it clean and nice. Not like how some people have been. Also, there has been a GoFundMe page set up by his friend Nick Ricada, who's been trying to help him with his legal fees, because this is going to be very expensive. Also, I found out that Vic has been invited to KamehaCon, so if you want to drop by, if you're in the Texas area, just to say hi and to tell him he's doing a great job and that we're all rooting for him. Also, I just want to say, if you guys want to continue to follow this case, the YouTubers I watch kind of to keep up with this case, along with reading some articles I find myself, one is named Emo Shiz. I think that's his name. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, but I think he's amazing. I really like his thoughts and opinions about this case. The other one that I really like is Unreal Network. He's also amazing. I also really like Yellow Flash. He seems to come out with some. Also, if you guys want to keep up on this case, the following channels I like to watch as well, as long as looking up stuff myself, like news articles and things that have been posted out, is I like Emo Shiz. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name correctly, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. I'm sorry if the pronunciation is bad. Also, Yellow Flash. I like Yellow Flash just mainly, I think he puts in the time and effort to weigh out both sides, and he gives us the correct information that I think he feels like we need to know. I also really like Unreal News Network. I also like Super Saiyan Paul. I adore him. His take on things are something else. I also really enjoyed The Umbrella Guy because he has such an articulated way of putting things, and he wants his viewers to really come up with their own opinions about this whole situation. And that's pretty much what I want everyone to do, is I want them to come up with their own opinion about this situation. If he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's innocent, he's innocent. Please tell me why you think he's guilty or why you think he's innocent in the comments below. And yeah, I think I'm just going to end it here now. Thank you for sitting through this long discussion, kind of ranty video with me. Hopefully next time, if you didn't care for this video, I'll have something up that you will like. And yeah, I feel like that this discussion about this topic endeavor needs to keep being discussed, because issues like this happen every day, and I feel like the only way we ever are going to find a solution to a topic like this is if we just keep talking about it and trying to be aware of our surroundings and trying to put a stop to it. But yes, this is gonna be it for me. I hope you all have an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, night, and until next time, in the name of the moon, see you soon. Bye, guys.